Alright guys, so when the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros got released, that's been one of the easiest pairs to recommend to almost anybody. And when I say almost anybody, I mean that because there's a lot of people that don't want to drop $180 on a pair of true wireless earbuds. And so that's what makes the product that we're going to talk about today, which is the UGREEN X6. A very appealing product because they're giving you a pretty similar experience when it comes to the audio at a much lower price tag. In fact, right now, these are marked down on Amazon all the way down to 38 bucks with the coupon that they have. So we're gonna talk about the sound that these have. We're gonna talk about some of the features, what all comes inside the box, and why I think these are an absolute steal at the $38 price tag. So I do want to start with the fact that these do have hybrid active noise canceling, but I want to go ahead and tell you right at the beginning of the video, this is not the reason to buy this pair. In fact, I think the active noise canceling is just really non-existent. It doesn't feel like it's really blocking out anything. And what it is doing is it's affecting the audio quality where it's not as enjoyable to listen to when it's in noise canceling mode. And another thing that was kind of surprising is this pair does not have an ambient mode. I've kind of gotten used to the fact that when you get a noise canceling pair of earbuds, you usually can switch it into a transparency or an ambient mode. That way you can hear your surroundings. But I guess maybe they figured they didn't need it because they already knew the noise canceling wasn't doing a whole lot. So just honestly, just leave it in normal mode because that's going to be your best way to listen to these. But another mode that they do have is a gaming mode. Now this cuts down your latency all the way down to 50 milliseconds. Now this mode you would just want to use if you're going to be watching movies or videos or playing games. That way you don't have any lag when it comes to video. Now these do use Bluetooth 5.1. Now they only have SBC and AAC playback, so there's no aptX or any kind of high definition codecs. But I didn't notice any kind of compression. And again, the audio is the huge standout when it comes to this pair, so it didn't negatively affect the audio quality in any way. And a huge thing that makes this pair stand out and makes them very similar to the Liberty 3 Pros is they're using 10mm DLC drivers, and these are the diamond coated drivers, which again is exactly what Soundcore uses in their earbuds. But if you're looking for a pair to use outdoors, these do come with an IPX5 rating, which basically means if it rains or you sweat heavily or if you just get them splashed with water, they'll be completely fine. But this is not one of those pairs that you would want to submerge into water. Now, as far as what all they include inside the box, you do get 3 sets of silicone ear tips. It does come with a USB-C cable. And one of the features that this pair does lack is it doesn't have Qi wireless charging. But again, because of the low price point, that's kind of understandable. And speaking of the charging, battery life is just decent on this pair. Now, this isn't one of those that gets into double digits when it comes to the battery life on the earbuds. If you decide to use these with the noise canceling on, you're going to get about 5.5 hours on the earbuds with about 23 hours using the case. But again, like I said at the beginning, I don't really even recommend using them in noise canceling mode. So if you use them with the noise canceling off, you can actually get 6 hours on the earbuds and around 26 hours using the case. But if you do happen to pick the earbuds up and your battery is dead, this is one of those pairs that does have a fast charge feature where you can pop it in the case for 10 minutes and get 2 hours of use. And I think that is definitely nice because there are some people that do forget to charge their earbuds or charge the case. So if you're going out the door, it's nice to pop it in the case real quick and get that 2 hours of use. Now moving over to checking out the actual case and the earbuds themselves, there's nothing really special here about the case. It's not one of those that's very large, so it does fit in the pocket really easily. Now on the back you can see the USB-C input, and right above that it has the pairing button, and then around on the front you have a single indicator light. That way you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now, moving over to checking out the earbuds, I definitely think these earbuds have a unique design to them. It's not something that looks big or obnoxious. It resembles kind of having a short stem without actually looking like a stem style earbud. This pair does use touch controls, and I'm happy to say that they give you control over everything. So on this pair, you have your play, your pause, the ability to skip your tracks forward, go backwards. You have volume control. Again, you have the ability to switch these into normal mode or noise canceling mode. And you also have the ability to switch these into gaming mode. So because these don't have an app, it is nice that they give you control over everything. So that is definitely a huge plus. Now, for you guys that do like to use your earbuds for phone calls, they actually have 6 microphones total on this pair, and they're using what they call RCV 4.0. Now, this stands for Real Clear Voice, which essentially is like the CVC technology. It's where it's focusing in on your voice, and it's trying to block out a lot of your surroundings, and I think they did a pretty decent job when it comes to the mics. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the UGREEN X6. I think they did a really good job here because I feel like the mics are picking up my voice pretty cleanly. I do wish it had a little bit more bass tones to it, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, but you can hear here. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound is honestly the exciting part about these earbuds. The noise canceling, like I said, is non-existent. There's no Qi wireless charging, but that low price point and getting sound performance that is almost identical to the Liberty 3 Pros makes this one of the most standout pair of earbuds when it comes to budget earbuds, because the sound is very dynamic. But I really think it's these diamond coated drivers that make the treble sparkle. The treble definitely has a shine to it. It is a bright sounding earbud that has plenty of punch in the low end. This is a bass heavy earbud, so I know that bass heads will be extremely happy, but it's also one of those earbuds where it doesn't let the bass destroy everything else, because the mids are pushed very forward. You can hear vocalists cleanly no matter what you're listening to. And same thing with the treble. The treble is just so bright and clean. It almost kind of has like a shine to it. This is almost U-shaped sound signature where everything is bumped up quite a bit. It's not the V-shape where the mids kind of sit back a little bit. Everything is dynamic. Everything is very detailed. And the way that they tune these, they also have a lot of space and openness. It doesn't sound like 2 speakers just right here in front of you. It's extremely open, and being able to tell where different sounds are coming from and where they're coming from, this pair handles with no problem. So honestly, my overall opinion on these at under $40, this is just a hell of a deal on a pair of earbuds. I mean, you do have to kind of realize you don't get features like Qi wireless charging. I do wish that this pair had an app, because I feel like that's obviously one of the biggest standout things about the Liberty 3 Pros is you have an app with so many different EQ options, where with this pair, you're just getting the sound the way that it is out of the box, which is completely fine. But if you're somebody that maybe doesn't want a whole lot of bass, or you want to tone the treble down just a little bit or pull the mids back some, you can't really do that without downloading a third-party app to be able to EQ these. But if you really like a dynamic sound and you don't really care about noise canceling, because again, it just does not exist in this pair, it's a hell of a pair to have at under 40 bucks. But guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new UGREEN X6. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.